When Kyndra was just 8 months old, she suffered from shaken baby syndrome, and she ended up in Memorial Hospital, where they sent her from the hospital to hospice care because they didn't think that she would make it. I would say that it's nothing less than a miracle, because when you see where she came from, where she was when she first came home from hospice care, she was put there to pass away. And to come from hospice care into the thriving mode that she's in, it is definitely, I call it a miracle. If anybody says that miracles don't happen, I see one every single day.
I am Amy Gunning. I am a teacher of the visually impaired, working in the elementary department in the School for the Blind at the Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind. I have had the pleasure of being Kyndra's teacher last year when she was in kindergarten, and then this year as a first grade student. She loves to play, she loves to interact with other people, she loves to meet new people. She's very social, and she's very verbal and really likes to find out about them and cares about people. Very caring, kind young lady.
Are you sure about that order?
We celebrate everything she does, and we have been doing that from day one, and we still do. We celebrate everything she does.
I'm the physical therapist here at the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind, and I know Kyndra from, she was in the preschool when she first got here, CSDB, and I worked with her on gross motor skills, movement, just trying to get her to move. When she first got here, she was very scared to move. She just she has no vision, so she just kind of stayed put where she was.
My grandchildren had gotten a sock bopper for Christmas, and it's a punching bag. It's a big blow-up punching bag, and so you punch it and it bounced back. By rolling around on the sock bopper, she learned how to get on her knees. And one day she says, "Mommy," "watch me crawl." And this was after rolling around on that sock bopper. Then she got on her knees and she started bunny hopping, and she still does. She bunny hops, but she gets around and she's fast on her knees. And that's how she learned how to get the concept of getting on her knees and crawling.
She tells us all the time she wants to walk, so that's one of our goals that we're working on right now.
The program is kind of twofold. The most prolific piece is the anti-child abuse message. And that is Kyndra's story used to accentuate to the public, this happens, and it happens in your own backyard, and we all need to do something to prevent it. The other side of that coin is what saved Kyndra, and that is a loving, faithful foster home with a very unlikely foster family at the outset that fell so much in love with her and adopted her as quickly as they could, and arguably are the prime reason that she's flourished so well. We use Kyndra's Hope to get into the faith-based community. Any house of worship doesn't have to be a Christian church. It can be a synagogue, it can be anything, or even just a group of any kind. And we take the message, Kyndra's message, with us.
I don't think anybody gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to be cruel to my child today, or I'm going to neglect my child today. But parents, especially young parents, I think, get really caught up in the moment, and they don't have the time, or they don't think to take a deep breath before tragedy happens. So if we can get community members to say, oh wow, my next door neighbor, she's really having a tough day today, let me help, let me get her in touch with somebody who can help, let me make sure that nothing is going to happen to these children. The more people that we can get that are aware of that and can do that, the better off we'll be.
There are many, many children that have suffered, just like Kyndra have suffered. and unfortunately so many of them did not make it. And just to educate parents and caregivers is what the Kyndra's Hope and the Not One More Child Coalition is doing. Abuse does not have to take place.